All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Culturepath Experience. I am your host, Reggie Chapman, and today I have a very special guest. Maybe you guys don't know this. I'm actually stationed in Atlanta. So for the first time on the show, we've got another Atlanta person on the show, which is a lot of fun. Adam Beal. They call him Beal where he's from. His mama call him Beal. I'm going to call him Beal. Adam, man, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, appreciate you. Thank you for having me, Reggie, man. I'm honored to be here. Thanks.
Well, look, man, I'll tell you something. You take one trip to your Instagram account. You guys can go follow him at He Is Beal on Instagram. And you can tell a lot about this man. You can tell he does a lot of social media. You can tell he likes his video. He likes creating content. And let me tell you something. He likes being outside and working out as well. But for the people that don't know you, Adam, what do they need to know about you and your story?
Oh, man, my story is interesting. You know, I'm from Detroit. So we didn't have as much outdoors as I probably thought we had. You know, we probably did, but at the time I wasn't into it. Inner city kid. And I played football, then I went to college at A&T, North Carolina A&T, and I played ball up there. So I was a bigger size, then I was playing defensive tackle, but my playing weight, I was like 320. I was I was a strong kid all the way growing up. But then, when football was over, I was still eating and still big. And I was like, I can't keep this weight on me. I got up to almost like 400 pounds. I was huge, man. And I had to turn that whole journey around. And actually, when I moved to Georgia 12 years ago, my first hike was Stone Mountain. And I remember that. And I was breathing hard as ever, trying to get up that route. And I had to make a change. And since then, it's been off and on, but for the past couple, like 5 years or so, I done kept it off. But my journey, it's been crazy. I lost about 160 pounds or so, and I'm just trying to keep it off. Yeah.
So what was the thing that, everybody has a moment, like I don't want to say a rock bottom moment. Was there a moment where you said, I got to make a change. Something different has to happen for me right now. What was that moment?
It was a couple moments, but I never forget when I went back home after playing football back to Detroit, and it was actually my mama, and she was like, it was one little small comment she made, and it stuck with me. And she was like, "Oh, you must have stopped running," or something like that, or working out. And I was like, "I got big," That's people's way of telling you that you putting on weight, but I ain't gonna say much. And I think it was that turnaround. So shout out to moms, but ever since then, and then I met somebody who used to be my size, and they showed me a meal plan and how they changed their life. Because when I saw them, I was like, man, how you do it? I'm stuck in this boat of eating, and I was huge. And they gave me some advice, and I done stuck with it. It was mainly my diet. I always worked out, but my diet, that little change in that helped me out tremendously.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, that's where we can kind of go from here, man, because, a lot of people struggle with weight or how big they are. They want to try and lose weight. It's the summertime, people trying to get their summer bodies right. Right. You had to do a little bit more than just get ready in one summer. This is the whole process. You lost 160 pounds, man. I mean, but what was it that, I mean, it's obviously a lot of different things, but for you, what was the thing that maybe was the biggest change? You said it was the diet, and how did you kind of keep yourself on track? Because somebody that I track a lot of my food and stuff like that, just figure out what I'm eating and make sure that I'm ready to go. For you, how do you kind of keep yourself motivated to be able to do it the right way and know that you're doing it the right way as well?
I tell you, the first, when I was being that big, it was easier to come off with just changing how I ate just a little. I didn't go extreme, didn't go cold turkey, because I would have reverted back to my old ways. But just a little bit changing here and there, and it was easy. I mean, now it's more of a struggle to get, how I actually want my body. I had to keep changing my diet and the way I work out because, my body is kind of used to it. But as far as motivation, I mean, honestly, some days I don't be motivated, but I think it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's my determination or commitment, dedication to it that makes me keep going. I just know I have to do it even when I don't feel like doing it. It might be a football mentality that I got that I just had to get up and go because I couldn't miss or something like that. But now, most days I don't be motivated, but I know I built a routine to keep going even when I don't feel like it. It might be 1 or 2 days that I'm motivated out the week. And, those days is, you get that grind and, the songs are playing just right and all that stuff here and there. But more importantly, I can go to the gym. It's the eating, the snacking, the constantly all that stuff, and that's something I had to control too as well. And I mean, it's still a tough battle to this day, but I just stay focused, because it's people out there that's watching me that I don't even know. They might not comment, like, or even follow me, but they still checking me out to see, what I'm saying. It motivates them, and at this point I can't stop now.
Yes, it's over with now. You got to commit to this life forever. That's what they don't tell you, man. Once you start losing some weight, you get yourself in the right position. It's just like, man, I got to keep doing this, man.
I gotta commit now. But translating that to the outdoors, it really helped me out. I really got into it about 2-3 years ago, of exploring different trails, and it's peaceful out there. I don't look at that as like a workout. It's more of it's more peace. People ask me what I think about when I'm out there, and honestly, my mind be totally free. There's no stress. There's no thinking about bills. Not thinking about work. It's not thinking about any relationships. It's just my mind is totally free, where I could just relax out there, and I'm walking, and before I know it, I've done a couple miles, and I just been building up from there.
Well, where did that kind of come from? Because especially like you said, and back at home, being outdoors, doing a lot of outdoorsy type things wasn't necessarily on your radar. You played football, and maybe it was there, but it just wasn't part of your outdoor. It wasn't part of your lexicon. It wasn't something that you would do.
It wasn't. It was a lot of things that football is it, and gaming. But something about when I came here in Georgia, and I started seeing a bunch of trails and different views, and it opened my mind up to a lot of different places. Of course, I started out with Stone Mountain, but I started seeing waterfalls and stuff like this. I'm like, oh, I wanna walk this. At first, I started doing it to be active, because I started running a lot of marathons, and I still do run a lot of marathons. I've been doing Peachtree for the past 12 years since I've been here. But yeah, but it's not. It's a beast. But I've been building from that, and I was like, all right, I train at Kennesaw Mountain. I walk up this because I know it's a tough hill or something like that, and I was doing that to train for Peachtree. Then I pick another mountain. Then I started really enjoying it, and then I got with Make-A-Wish to have a Trailblaze challenge that I did. It's a 23-mile hike. And we was training for that. We was hitting up different spots all across Georgia. And we did the Barchman Trail, and 23 miles after that. I mean, it was tough, but I felt great, you know what I'm saying? So that love came from there, and I started sharing it and posting it, my journey along the way, and people start gravitating towards it.
Well, the question for me is, how do you get started? Because I think, especially like we said, it wasn't on your lexicon of things you do, and especially for a lot of Black folks, sometimes they feel like that's not our world. We're not outdoorsy types. We don't like to be, and it really couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, the numbers are rising. More Black people are trying to get outdoors, and people like you are trying to showcase that. But for you, how did you get started, and what made you take that leap of faith to try and get outside?
It was other people. I expanded my network. I try to meet people who do something different than I do, because I'm very open-minded and to that fact, and I see, the enjoyment they get out of something. And I'm like, I want to try that for a little bit, even if it don't work. I mean, I tried a couple things to get my foot in the door. Most things I didn't like. Like I tried jiu-jitsu, but for a little bit, I know it's something I couldn't commit to, because I really did enjoy it. I mean, plus there was beating me up,
right?
But it was like something I couldn't fully commit to. But when I got on this trail, just hanging out with different groups, you find a couple groups on Instagram or Facebook. They have meetup groups. You might even on a date or something, this might say, hey, let's hit a trail or something like that. And it opened my mind up, and I got so started long ago. I can't point the exact time, but I tell everybody now I'm part of Black Hiking Club, and I try to get as many people out there, especially look like me, out there on the trails. I mean, it's a great piece for meditation or whatever you want to be, just walking meditation, and it brings joy and peace to me.
Man, that's awesome, man. I mean, for you to be able to jump out and really do that too. I mean, and I'm sure like once you really start losing the weight, that weight starts flying off, you start thinking, let me try and just do something a little different, stuff that you maybe couldn't have done before, right? Like you wouldn't have gone on these trails at your old size, right?
No, I couldn't imagine. And I signed up. I'm actually doing Half Dome hike. It's a 4-day backpacking trip in August. So I signed up. I'm doing that. They say it's like one of the toughest hikes is in Yosemite National Park. So I'll be out there. And I saw it and I was like, I just got to try it now. I feel like I'm in a good place to do it, especially after the 23 miles. So this was only 16 miles, but the incline. If y'all ever get a chance to look up Half Dome on Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's actually the North Face logo. The mountains, it's steep and they got cables on there, but it looks amazing. So I want to try it. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I've been training hard for this because it's 4 days and the most I ever backpacked was 2 days. So we about to see how this goes.
Well, look, I got to ask about this because you mentioned like when you go out there on the trails, it allows you to kind of clear your mind. You're not thinking about really anything else, but just being out on the trail and kind of enjoying yourself. Are there any lessons that you kind of take from when you're out there hiking? Is there anything that you take back to your regular day-to-day life about, maybe is it part of the discipline aspect of it, or what do you kind of take from hiking? What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
For me, it's controlling my stress, and that also translated to my fitness too as well. It's just controlling my stress. I have a motto that if it stresses me out and I can do something about it to change it, then I change it. If I cannot change it with something that stresses me out, I really don't worry about it because it's out of my control. And so, I mean, you just sit out there and a lot of things, that I can't control that's stressing me out and I know I can't do anything about it. I mean, I let it go. And if it's something I can do to make a change for it, to make it for the better, then I act on that. It may take some time, but the process and, it helps and it builds the character. And while I'm out there, either I set up a hammock or I pull out my chair or I just sit down on the rock or something, or if I'm just walking, I think about that and also think about what I'm thankful for, just to be healthy out here. So as a kid, you envision your life at a different place. That, hey, I wanted to go to the NFL. That was one of my dreams or something like that, and it didn't happen. Now I'm thankful for where I'm at, project manager in construction, and I love what I do. But when I'm out there, it's just, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the journey that has been taking me on. If I would have made a right or left in any path that I was on, I could have ended up in a totally different place. So for this moment now, I'm thankful for where I'm at. And I can't let nobody steal that joy. And it's just peaceful. And I think, a lot of times that brought me peace.
I think it's funny you mentioned, you're talking about your journey of getting your weight down to where it is now. You're saying how you post on social media now, so now you can't go back, right?
I can't go back.
You can't go back. But what I'm curious about, man, is you go on your Instagram account and you've got the drone out, you're taking photos, you're interviewing people. The content looks great and you look like you enjoy doing it. Why is that something that you enjoy doing? Why is that something that you feel like you must do? Is it just because you want to inspire the next group of African Americans, Black folk to try and get out on the trails, or it's just something that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of both, I tell you when I don't want to keep harming it, but I know when I was huge, I wasn't as secure of myself, and so I didn't really take a lot of pictures. Also, we had the type of phones we have now where you can do editing and all that when I was that big. But now, I lost some weight and I got a little more confident, self-esteem boosted up. I take a lot more pictures and all that. And being that on the trails, I used to be nervous to talk to people because I was a shy guy. It's a lot of things that I do to try to break my fear of things so I don't let it overcome me. And so I was on the trail one day and I met a couple guys and they had their camera out and they just started talking to me. And it was like, man, we want to interview people on the trail, and they got to talk. And I was like, man, this would be a good idea if I could do this with our people. And I said that, I was like, I want to get better at this. And it's something I enjoy doing, and whether it's I get one like or 1,000 of them, it's something that I enjoy regardless of who sees it or something like that. And I had to think, is this something you can keep doing if people don't see it? And I'm like, yes, I can. I would be out here if I had no cameras or nothing like that. But I do have it, but other than that, I would still enjoy it, and I still do. It's a great feeling.
Do you have a background in it? Because I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people do social media now, but people aren't good at it. Or they don't know what they're doing. It looks like you got some experience, man. I mean, or is it just
I
you've gotten
appreciate it.
better
I
at it over the
appreciate it.
years? Where does this background kind of come from for you?
I kind of mimic and see what I see online. You know, I get inspiration from other people too as well. You know, and that's the beauty about social media. I get inspiration from a lot of different files, and I'm like, I want to try this, and maybe sometimes it works, and maybe I'm like, ah, this ain't for me. But just to see other people's views, and you know, it shows you, you know, these are the people that's hiking, these are people that's doing drones, and you know, I try to keep that on my feed as much as possible so I can get inspiration. And then when I'm out there talking to people, you know, people gravitate towards my personality, and the conversation just flows, and I enjoy it. I'm getting more confident in doing it. The hardest part for me is learning the editing. But as far as the speaking and stuff goes, I'm getting confident with it. You know, hopefully it keeps going and takes off.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome that
Thank
you
you, Ed.
continue to do that, man. I mean, that's the editing thing, man. Because I mean, as somebody that edits a little, I edited for my job. I mean, I remember I had to teach myself how to do it like years and years ago. So
That's
I mean,
tough.
YouTube University, baby, will get you right every single time.
That's what I'm here.
When you do these interviews, is there an interview that has stuck out to you the most? Where you obviously you're interviewing them, so you're trying to give them an opportunity and maybe learn something. But is there an interview that maybe stuck out to you the most, where you thought like, wow, I really took a lot from this myself personally, and I'm the one putting it out?
Yeah. I think it was Tracy. He's actually the founder of Black Hiking Club, and just getting to talking to him and how he got started, from where he first formed the group, and it was only like a couple people that showed up, like 3 or 4 people, and to where he's at now, where it's like 200 people out there that look like us on the trails, and it's amazing to see that journey and just to hear him speak, you know, about his journey. And he's always saying something enlightening. I got like 2 of his interviews on my page. And it's always a gem that you could pick from it. You know, and I always look for that to see where people start, you know, when it's just 1 or 2 people around them and it builds up to something amazing, you know, and they're still humble. And so a couple of his, you know, it was great.
Is there a lesson that sticks out to you the most? Maybe something that he said?
It was just keep trying, you know, keep pushing. I don't think it was something that he said specifically, but just to see it, you know, and speaking with him. It wasn't nothing specific, but I watched, you know, a lot how people start and how they going, you know, like when no one's watching and when no one's showing up, where they quit or where they keep going, you know, and it keeps building. It just keep going up from there, you know. And that journey was amazing to me. It's always great to see different people with different backgrounds doing something amazing from that. It gives me motivation. That's the motivation right there.
I'm already knowing, man.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for more black people to get outside and join stuff like this? I mean, because like you said, like we said, you hear a lot of people like this is not for us, is what a lot of people will say. We're not at the outdoor, but we should be, and more people are. Why is it important for black people to be more outdoors, more adventurous?
Yeah, I think it's important to explore different aspects of life and also different cultures. See how most people do things. Just give it a try. You know, it may bring you peace. You might say, hey, this is not for me. Most trails we do, or, you know what I'm saying, I do, are flat. You know, it's no incline, and some of them are a little bit more challenging. But I think, especially in Georgia, you know, it's not too many of us, you know. And we need to get out, show that, you know, we are out there. We are into fitness. We are into health, and changing our mental mindset of it. You know, it is a lot of us out there sometimes. The numbers, I don't know if it's just been these past years, but I have been seeing a lot of us out there on these trails. You know, earlier it wasn't like this. You know, I think the movement is especially going up, and I love to see us out there. You know, especially when I'm up in North Georgia, you know, just to see someone, I'm like, all right, I feel a little better, you know.
So obviously you said you've been out here in Georgia for the last 12 years, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, some of this information I'm taking for myself as well, because I'm out here in Georgia as well. But for people that are watching this, how can they get started? Where do you recommend they first go if they want to try and get more into this? And get into hiking, and then I mean, shoot, eventually get on your level and start running in marathons, man. I mean, that's a different beast.
Hey, I say it's a couple nice spots. You know, if you want to get started, I suggest scenery first. You know, whether it's peaks that you want to climb up and see the whole view of the city. You got Stone Mountain, you got Brasstown Ball is a perfect place to watch the sunrise. You know, if you like sunrise and sunsets, you got Arabia Mountain. If you like waterfalls and you still want to be in the city, you got Vickery Creek. The Bamboo Forest is totally amazing. And these are all short hikes, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get short started, they're like a mile to 3 miles or something like that. That's very, very easy, you know, depending on what you like. And I think once you get out there and you accomplish something like that on those feats, it brings a little sense of joy, you know. And to see us out there, you know, it's amazing to see different people out there. You know, you might find a couple things you like because the trails will be packed now. It's summertime. It's cooling down. The waterfalls about to be packed like that. You know, you got Amacola, you got Tahula Gorge. They about to be packed. So.
Already knowing. So let's say I'm not even necessary for me. I forgot a buddy that's living somewhere else in this country. Do you have any tips and tricks? Like, is there apps? Is there like because I could always be like, oh, I want to go hiking, but like I could type in hiking on Google and a million things are gonna pop up. Like, how does somebody pinpoint how to really get started and going? Is there anything that they need? What could and should be done?
Yeah, so depending on, you know, I use All Trails myself.
Okay.
And that's how I get started. It's a free app, you know, shameless plug, but it's a free app if you want to use, and you can just type in waterfalls and it'll bring up every waterfall that's near you. You want to expand it out, it'll bring it up. If you want to type in backpacking, you want to type in biking, whatever it is you want to do, you can just type that in on All Trails and then it go. If you say, hey, I'm scared to go hiking alone, you can come join me at Black Hiking Club, where you won't be alone. You can also network, whatever you do, you know, it's a different thing. If you're a photographer, if you're doing other types of business on the side, you want to come out there and not hike alone and just meet like-minded people, you know, you could join Black Hiking Club. You also have Atlanta Outdoor Club, and they do things too as well. You know, it's a bunch of different clubs. You got Peace in the Wild, if you want to join that too, and they do different things out there besides hiking. They do rock climbing, they do kayaking. It's a bunch of groups out there to get you started, and just those to name a few, it's groups that I'm part of and I enjoy. You know, doing different things. It opened my mind up to a bunch of different avenues.
Before I got to ask about Peachtree Road Race. Like you said, you've been running it the last 12 years. I mean. Yeah. Look, man, I'll be honest. You look all over social media, man. They say that people are running marathons. It's all for attention. People are only doing just for the attention. Is that true? What's going on? I need a breakdown because I feel like the closer I get to getting a little older, I'm like, man, maybe I should try to train for some sort of marathon. Do I just want some attention, or what's the feeling in your head?
Now, Peachtree is a beast, but I've been doing it. You know, my fastest time was 2 years ago, and I was 48 minutes. I know I'm not going to beat it this year. I signed up this year. If you're out there, you see me running, say hey. But
how far is Peachtree?
It's a 10K, 6 miles.
Whew.
Yeah. It is straight. It's fun though. Regardless if you run or walk, it's fun. You got every vendor out there on Peachtree. They be out there passing out water or beer for the fact sometimes if you walking or just enjoy people be in costume. I mean, I think about 100,000 runners and mostly like 500,000 people viewing you. The streets are blocked off. It's a great time, you know. But if you want to train for it, man, you can come around with me. You know, I'm still. We can get right for it and just get to moving, you know.
What's that, July 4th weekend, huh?
It is.
Look, man, hey, I saw some of the designs for the T-shirts this year, man. If they pick the design that I like, I'm gonna have to come out, man. Because I'll do it for the shirt. I don't even need the attention. The shirt is all I need.
Yeah, that's it.
Very simple with me, man. Very simple with me.
Yeah.
So the running, and then of course also the lifting and working out, is also a big part of your life as well. Like I said, it's a lot of us just trying to get more Black people more active. Is that part of the reason that you show off your workouts in there? Is it helping more people see that it's possible, what you can do, and the transition if you really work hard and have some discipline in your life.
Yeah, it is, especially people seeing me come from, where I came from into where I'm at now. A lot of people be like, hey, this is possible, and I'm always, like I say, I'm an open book, whatever questions people have, say, hey, how you do this, how you get started, you got a meal plan or something that I can go by, and I help people out. It's just no charge, you know what I'm saying? I get joy out of seeing other people's life change, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make a buck off of that, it's just, it's inspiring for me to do that, to help others. But yeah, whatever they come, you got any questions or they want to come to my page and check me out and DM me, ask, hey Adam, do you suggest this or this? Because when I tell you the main thing for me was diet. The workouts, it will happen regardless if you do it 7 times a week, 3 times a week, or 1 time a week. You know what I'm saying? The diet is the key. Then once you get that and you start seeing change, it's easing to it slowly, and this game of life is a marathon, not a sprint. Easing to it slowly. If you try a fad diet, you something quick, you'll revert back to where your old habits. You want to make small changes. You might, if you eat chips and candy, you want to just cut out the candy, have the chips. Then slowly the next week, cut out the chips. You know what I'm saying? And, cut out the candy. Just make slow changes in part of your life, and now you'll see a total difference.
You seem to be somebody that likes to set goals for yourself and try to achieve them and take every day as an opportunity to get better. My next question for you is, what is next for you? What can people look forward to with you? What's the next step in your journey as a person as well?
Yeah, so I'm really, this year I've been really getting into backpacking. And I know with this half dome trip, I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm really looking to do more, and hopefully I could, build a group off that with people who want to go backpacking, and teach people about that. I have all my gear and everything that I need, and I'm still learning. But that's on the next journey for me, and hopefully, if you get people on the trail, I can interview and speak to more people, and post that and put that out there, and just to meet more people. But as of for now, I'm trying to, the backpacking thing is taking off, and that's peaceful. So I'm trying to go all across the country with it. I know after California, I want to go to Arizona. After Arizona, I'll probably go to Tennessee, and then Charlotte. Then hopefully I can go international and go a couple places. But yeah, I mean, backpacking is the thing for me.
Because backpacking, that's the only difference is you out there for multiple days living off the land, right? What's the difference?
Yeah, backpacking, you just got your backpack on, you got everything in your pack. You got your tent, you got your water filter. Yeah, if you can carry a small stove and stuff like that, just your backpack that's out there. You just setting up and going. You're hiking out and setting up. Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy at first, you know what I'm saying? I camped Mount Yona. But now just getting into backpacking around Georgia, I didn't know you need a permit to backpack out or camp. I just thought go anywhere and set it up. No, you need a permit get out there. But Mount Yona was the only spot that I didn't need a permit, but it's a tough hike up. And I got up to the top and set it up. And I mean, it was smooth. I was nervous my first night, but now I'm used to it. It's peaceful.
I'm already knowing, man. So as you get going on this, these backpacking journeys, here's a chance for you to shamelessly plug yourself, sir. Where can people find your content, your information? Where can they learn and know more about you?
Yeah, so if you got any questions, please follow me. He is Beal. That's HeisBeal. He is Beal on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And yeah, just come over, see my journey. If you got any questions, shoot me a message. I talk back, and like I say, I'm looking forward to my journey and my future forward.
Adam Beal, thank you very much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Reggie, for real.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes, sir.
And awkward pause is over. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dang, man, that was smooth, man.
That was fun. Yeah, so the funny thing is, so you mentioned Black Hike. So I actually was DMing with who'd you say the
Tracy.
The trades, because I think I was DMing the page, the page directly. Let me see what I don't
Yeah,
know who I talked
Tracy
to.
Stevens. I can give you his contact if you need him
Yeah,
for
because
reference.
he hit me. Let's see. Because because I was gonna grab him too. I think y'all doing a hike on the first, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
Saturday.
he told me to. He told me that's this Saturday. That is this
Yeah.
Saturday. Dang. Okay. Yeah, he told me to try and come out. So I'm gonna see if I can see
Man, if you can,
$5 for
that'd be
parking
love,
there.
Reggie, man. It's gonna be a lot of people, man.
He
It's
said
gonna
the
be
first of the 15th. So I said my plan. I said, look, I might come out there on the first. I'm about to DM him back today and be like, yo, so you
yeah.
guys are
And
North
this a
Georgia
nice
mountains.
spot too. So man, it
How
be
long are
packed
y'all
out
out there
there,
though? Because
man.
I do gotta go. I work on Saturdays, so I'm trying to figure out what's the
Yeah,
timeline. Like y'all get out there early, y'all be off at a certain time. What's the deal?
yeah, it's early in the morning. I work some Saturdays too. You know, we renovating Marta Five Points. We getting that ready for the World Cup right now.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be something.
Yeah, so some Saturdays I do work up there. But it'd be 8 a.m. This one will probably be like 2 hours because
Okay.
it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
so it's not like hey we're out there at 11 and we out there for 4 hours and I'm gonna miss work. Okay. All right.
It
8
be
a.m. two
smooth,
hours. I
man.
can make that work.
I think the reason that we going so strong is we got everything planned out. We probably the most organized group. We got it planned
Already
out. We
know.
said, hey, we hitting this the leader, don't pass them. And we
Yeah.
don't leave nobody behind either, So I mean it'd be nice out there.
Yeah, I got some people that will come with me too, man. I might have to
Hey, pull
make this a
up,
trip,
man.
man. I might have to be there this Saturday.
Hey, pull up.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, you didn't convince me. I'll be there Saturday because I told him I said because since I want to talk to him too. So, but I was like, it'd be much better if I went on the hike first, so we could like
Yeah.
on the show talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be hard.
That'd be most deaf, man. And I do a lot of the content for them too as well. So you know what I'm saying. If you want me to, I can get some shameless shots. You know what I'm saying. Some
Hey, I
caps
need
for
that.
y'all. Yeah, if you
I
want to
need
plug
that
that
for the
into that.
yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
got you, bro.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now I'm convinced. Now I gotta go. Now
I
I gotta
got
go.
you.
Okay, for sure. Well, shoot, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming on.